In the spring, there was talk of bad snaps at the center position, and it's continued into fall camp. But I have been told, well, in practice, it's up tempo. So many guys are going, you're going to have snaps on the ground. It just happens. All right. There's been talk of drop balls, and we brought it up last week. They started out their practice last Saturday, a lot of drop passes. People are talking about it. I've been told, hey, they're playing a lot of young guys due to the injury. You're getting on the same page with these new quarterbacks. It's normal. Okay. Joey Aguilar threw 24 picks in 2 years, and I've been told, yeah, but Appy State was behind in a lot of those games. They were behind in those games. He was having to catch up. Yeah. Okay, possible those are all three legitimate, honest reasons. It's also possible they're just excuses to make you feel better because you're hearing some bad things right now. Are those reasons or are they excuses? And this is just whoever wants it. I know where you're going.
If you can catch, you can catch. Bottom line.
Yeah.
If you can catch, you can catch. And guys dropping a lot of passes, sorry. And okay, they were recruited out of high school, and so they got to be good receivers. They got to know how to catch. Yeah, but things change when you go to each level. There's been guys who've been great in college could not play in the NFL because they couldn't catch the ball consistently. So I think that's really worrisome. And as far as the center snaps go, yeah. If you have 2 bad center snaps a game, you're torpedoed. And people say, oh, that's not necessarily true. Well, some of it depends, too, on what kind. Everybody's seen a game where that center snap goes over 10 yards over somebody's head and 30 yards backwards. Yeah. You know, likely as not, those kind of things are recovered by the defense. So, yes, I find it worrisome, but I find most things in the preseason worrisome, so there you go.
There you go. Well, the bad snap, isn't that just an absolute drive killer?
Yes.
I mean, that's what I keep going back to. That's like the self-inflicted kind of thing that you got to get that cleaned up. And how many years are we going to talk about Tennessee's wide receiver dropping passes, can't catch the ball? And, you know, we've had trouble with accuracy, and then when it is delivered a catchable ball, you have too many dropped. So it's time to clean that up, isn't it?
If you had Jalen Hyatt back and I was hearing that, I wouldn't freak out as much. You know.
Yeah.
Well, then again, maybe I'd be sitting there thinking, is he reverting back to the last year? But no, I would be thinking, okay, I've seen this guy catch the ball. I'm not going to freak out over it.
Right.
But the problem is, you're talking about last year. You had guys like Chris Brazzell who dropped a lot of passes. You had when Nico hit guys. People always want to put it. As soon as he left, it got all put on Nico. He overthrew everybody. No, not everybody. He overthrew about 50% of those incompletions. The other 50%, doink, off the hands. So, and you know, granted, Squirrel White was dropping passes because he couldn't raise his hand. Okay, whatever. The drop passes to me, the bad snaps, the Joey Aguilar, he wanted to throw those interceptions. It's kind of the way it's going. It just seems like a lot of excuse making. And I'm exaggerating there. But your thought.
I hear you. Here's my biggest concern.
Reason or excuses?
No, I think these are a lot of excuses, and the two things being brought up are bad snaps as well as receivers dropping balls. Let's just talk about this big picture. What does everybody want to see Tennessee do this year? They want to see them replicate what they did last year, and all things have to be considered, and what's the process of getting there. Tennessee has to go on the road this year to Tuscaloosa, Gainesville, Lexington, sorry Starkville, but I'm not going to put you up there when it comes to home field advantage. You know what happens if Tennessee doesn't catch a 3rd and long in Tuscaloosa in a game on the line, a bad snap when you've got a chance to deliver the knockout punch? You get what I'm saying. These two big issues, it seemed like this was just a Joe Milton situation when it came to throwing the ball 100 miles an hour, drop ball. Little Nico in that, it's now starting to become an issue. Pattern, now starting to become a big, big issue and a problem. I'm not going to panic or worry about this yet, but I'm hearing more excuses because it seems like it is a repeated conversation we're having to have on this show, Saturdays, or on our radio show. Repeatedly, these are the topics we have to address.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. Maybe it all works out. Maybe we all come back and say, these were legitimate reasons. They were running a lot of centers out there, snapping a lot of balls. You're going to get some on the ground.
They were sweating a lot.
It was hot.
That makes me now go. I'm going to go back and look at Appalachian State and see when the interceptions came. Because if you're behind by 21 and there's 10 minutes to go in the game and you're throwing picks, okay, that's a little bit legit.
But the problem is people say that. Go ahead.
A couple of those, they were behind in big games in conference play. Others, There were snaps right down the middle, and he threw it right to a linebacker who had a
And that's,
posse
and
waiting on
that's
him
what
to
I
take him
think
down the
that was
sidelines.
easy enough to find out.
Well, but here's the other issue there is the idea that, well, the second year when he threw the 14 interceptions, they were behind a lot. They weren't a good team.
Correct.
They weren't a bad team the year before, and he threw 10 interceptions.
Correct.
10 was the good year.
And I can tell you a lot, and for the people out there that are listening, well, maybe the receivers dropped it. A lot of those, majority of those were bad reads, and Joey put it in the other hands.
And this is somebody who went back and looked at all the tape. More invested than I am because I.
That's a nice Monday through Friday.
Good deal. That's why you're the ace gambler, man. You know every player on every team.